for the 250 main event. Skip Norfolk is mechanic, making sure those taillights are working properly as he returns to the location where he won his very first Supercross.
I think, Art, those taillights serve more as warning lights. If you take a look at Emick here, intensity on his face. Anaheim, as I mentioned at the top of the show, carries a little more magic. It's not the opening round anymore, but it's still the biggest.
Going back just a decade, we see some of the great names of this sport. Glover winning it in '85. You, David Bailey, in '86, your second victory here.
Right, the first one coming in '83. And McGrath looking to become the first three-time winner, winning the past 2 years.
Now the butterflies have got to be spinning. Last-minute instructions and nervous routine.
Oh, yeah, you see McGrath there clapping, do whatever it's going to take to get him psyched. You see basketball players and boxers coming out in a full sweat, ready to do battle. And McGrath looks ready to go right there. And I think that's what makes him so strong in those opening laps.
What do we look for in the start? It looks a little tacky.
Well, I don't like where McGrath's starting. He's too far to the outside. It's a short starting line, so if he gets pinched off, he's going to get pushed wide.
The 250 main is underway. Breaking to the inside. It is Larry Ward getting the whole shot with Ezra Lusk, number 24, out there. And buried in the back of the pack, LaRocco and Kudrowski.
And McGrath, he's buried back there right with him.
McGrath, you see him right there taking the turn. He's about in 9th place right now.
And you catch a glimpse over his shoulder on the other side of the track. There's Kudrowski, and behind him is LaRocco. And that's good news for this guy, Larry Ward.
Larry Ward and Steve Lampson in 2nd place, with Doug Henry now moving into 3rd behind his teammate Lampson.
That's a fantastic opportunity for Larry Ward to get out to a good lead, and he's got Lampson back there, who's his first race back after injuring his sternum.
Lusk, Dowd, Emig, Dobb.
You see McGrath buried in the pack there. He's going, you know, watch this guy carve his way through the pack. He never follows anyone. You can't pass him if you're following him. Watch the way he does battle with this guy.
Taking on Todd DeHoop, and that's number 111, Greg Albertine.
Right, he looks up the middle. He can't get him. He goes to the outside. He gets him there.
Right now, McGrath looks like he's pinned with the 2 riders out in front of him.
Well, nowhere to go. Oh. Look at that. He crosses all the way back across and sets himself up for that next left-hander. Boy, he never follows. He's awesome in those opening laps.
Henry in 3rd, Lusk in 4th, Emig, Dowd, Dobb, DeHoop, and there is Jeremy McGrath with Albertine right behind him.
And you can see the 2 Kawasaki riders there. They should be able to hitch a ride with McGrath and go to the front, but already McGrath is putting riders between them.
Larry Ward is looking very smooth out in front. He's not pulling away, but he's riding smoothly. Jeremy McGrath coming up through the pack right there with the taillights blinking. Let's go to Jan Beekes.
Skip, this is a position that you and Jeremy are not used to. He's not used to working through the pack. What are you telling him to inspire him?
Well, the guys that have been hammering him lately have been finishing 2nd and 3rd or behind him, so I'm trying to let him know that who is out front of him so he knows how to judge his race.
Now, you can see the track. Do you think there's enough lines for him to pick his way through, or the ruts put it down to 1 line?
Well, he's caught the leaders pretty good, but now you got 6 guys that are going race pace, and it's going to take a little time to get around him. He's going to have to make sure he gets around him and gets by him clean so he can get to the next guy.
Thanks, Skip.
All righty.
What Skip is saying is he's more concerned with LaRocco and Kudrowski behind McGrath.
Right, but also they can't underestimate Larry Ward, who's running out front right now. He's the only rider to be on the podium with Jeremy so far this year.
Another look at the start now, and let's check out to see how Jeremy gets into trouble.
Well, it looks to me like he was a little bit late on his reaction. He bumps elbows with Emig there, and he just gets pinched off. There's nowhere to go.
Larry Ward, the inside track, gets the whole shot. But look back in the pack right there. Mike LaRocco really gets popped.
Well, you know, when you hang out back there and all your problems are in front of you, it's a familiar place for LaRocco, and he's got his work cut out for him now.
Here is our leader, Larry Ward.
He's already opening up to a pretty good lead. You see there behind him, Lampson is in 2nd place, followed by Henry. Now, Lampson's not 100%. Remember, he injured his sternum just a couple weeks ago.
He's racing against his crew's wishes right now. Down, here comes Jeremy McGrath. He doesn't have too many riders in front of him right now. He's come a long way in a short period of time.
Well, that's what makes McGrath so good. He can do it from anywhere. Right now, he's making quick work of everyone, and he's going to have to catch Larry Ward, who's riding with a lot of confidence after these past 2 weeks being on the podium.
The top privateer of last year, 2 third-place finishes this year, 2nd in points. Here comes Jeremy McGrath approaching John Dowd.
John Dowd almost looks like he just gets out of the way. You know, Jeremy's so intimidating, and now he's got flashing lights to go right along with it. He's carving his way right through the pack, no problem.
He's moved his way into 6th place now as Jeremy takes the hop and looks to the side to see where the leaders are. Ward, Lampson, and Henry in that order. We're back in Anaheim, California. The 250 main, Doug Henry, currently in third position, looking ahead to Lamson, a teammate. Now, Henry had some tough luck in the last race as he jumped off the track, broke the handlebars, and really finished last in that race. So he's racing for pride the rest of the season.
Right, well, he's got to get back into this points battle, and right there ahead of his teammate also had bad luck. He bruised his sternum. He's not 100% right now, so these guys should be able to move around Lamson and challenge Larry Ward.
Lusk is right behind number 4. And Ezra Lusk will have quite a job pretty soon because he's got number 1 pile driving into him.
Oh, he's got Emig and Jeremy McGrath closing on this pack quick, and as soon as Jeremy catches all these guys, it's going to change the complexity of this whole battle.
Jan Beekes is down in the pits with Ed Longacre. That's Ezra Lusk's mechanic.
And do you think that he can hold off Jeremy McGrath? Do you think he can hold him off?
Well, Jeremy's riding pretty good. Ezra's a little hurt this evening, but it'll be good. Even if Jeremy gets by, if he can follow him, that's fine, because Jeremy's trying to go to the front, so are we.
Oh, the crowd is going crazy. He's trying to make his move. What can you tell your guy to keep his momentum up?
I just need to tell him to follow Jeremy and learn, just like everybody else needs to do, it seems, so far this year.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
A little different theory than times past. Here comes Jeremy McGrath, and oh, Henry is down. So Jeremy McGrath just ups another position.
Well, this makes Jeremy's job a little bit easier. These guys, he either gets by him or he puts the pressure on him, forces him into a mistake like that. And I think LaRocco just went by Henry as well. As we take a look at Larry Ward, who's got a nice, comfortable lead right now. You see how far it is. Back to second place.
And right now, honing in on his teammate, another teammate, Jeremy McGrath moves on Steve Lamson.
Well, Steve Lamson, as we mentioned already, is not 100%. He's got a bruised sternum, and that's got to be painful. And right there, McGrath goes right for the jugular, wastes no time, and he's already got second, setting his sights on Larry Ward.
And look at how low he jumped compared to Lamson. He does everything a little bit different.
Right. Well, he doesn't carry a wheelie into the face of those jumps like some of these other guys. Right there, look on that triple. You see him look over to see where Larry Ward is. He doesn't want to wait until he gets back to his mechanic to have him tell him. Here's another look at the pass. You know, Jeremy's just smart. He knows he doesn't even have to pass the guy, but if he controls that inside line, what's the guy going to do?
Gets the wheels back down to the ground very, very quickly. Jeremy McGrath now in second place. That's got to have the Ward pits stirring right about now. And let's go down and check with Jan Beekes.
How dominant is Jeremy McGrath? Well, Quentin Berry, Larry Ward's mechanic, just wrote on his board, he's coming. Didn't say Jeremy, just he's coming. And Larry Ward knows who that is. Art?
Larry Ward can feel him, I'm sure.
Well, it's got to make him nervous, and I don't think his mechanic should have put that. He should have just put his distance that he, or the time that he had on McGrath, and just keep him focused and keep him relaxed.
That's the important thing for Larry Ward, isn't it, David? Stay relaxed under pressure. Here we see Emig taking on Steve Lamson. Emig was 5th here at Anaheim last year. He actually led this race for 4 laps last year.
And he has no trouble getting by Lamson. And of course, we keep pointing out, Lamson's not 100%. And there you see a perfect example. That's a really tough section, requires a lot of strength, and he just doesn't have it to get through there quick.
Emig was the first rider last year to actually pass Jeremy McGrath in head-to-head competition, but he's in only 4th position right now. Here's our number 1 rider, Larry Ward.
Well, you saw he got a little glimpse over his shoulder of McGrath coming the other way. Now we're going to put the clock on these guys.
The Honda stopwatch and see what the interval is.
McGrath has sure closed the gap on Larry Ward. Since he moved into second, he's been chipping away like 3 seconds a lap. And that tells me that Larry Ward's riding nervous. He's not riding as relaxed as he was in the early going.
Here's Doug Henry after his spill getting up, and Mike Kudrowski finally comes into the frame.
And remember, Mike Kudrowski was right with McGrath in those opening laps, and McGrath's able to carve through traffic, and Kudrowski isn't. That's the difference between those two.
Kudrowski, of course, if you tuned in late, had to go all the way to win the last chance qualifier simply to get into the main event. Here comes Doug Dubach, followed by DeHoop, Dement, and Lewis.
You know, I'm thinking about this theory, and Lusk's mechanics say, just follow this guy and learn. You know, when I was racing, we didn't follow anybody, man. If there was somebody winning all the races, we figured out a way to win. We didn't let anybody by. This is a race, guys, and that's what's making McGrath so dominant right now. He's out there to win.
And we'll see if he does when we get back. Art Ekman, David Bailey, Jan Beekes back with the action from Anaheim, California in the 250s. We see Lamson getting gobbled up a little bit here by Mike LaRocco after the bad start. Morocco's turning it on finally.
Well, you know, I think the key word there, Art, is finally. You know, McGrath doesn't waste any time. He goes right to the front early in the race, and that's the difference. Morocco was right there with McGrath, he and Kudrowski both, and as McGrath carves through the pack, these guys sit back there, and once they get comfortable in their pace, then they put on their charge, and that doesn't work in Supercross. It's a whole different story outdoors, though. These guys dominate McGrath because they have more time.
Larry Ward, and look at the interval now. About a second is all with Jeremy McGrath on the hunt. There he hops the little rut section now, takes the inside, forces Ward out, and then leaps by him. Says hello, goodbye.
He waved at him in the air right there. You know, if I was Larry Ward, I'd be a little upset with that move. You know, it's Jeremy's show. He's dominating the Supercross. That was kind of a condescending little move right there, passing him. We're going to get another look at it. He jams up the inside of this whoop-de-doo section, sticks a wheel in, and forces Larry Ward out into a rut where he can't do this triple. That's the main difference. And look at Jeremy. Waves at Larry Ward like, hey, buddy, what's happening? And, you know, if I was Larry Ward, I'd yank his arm right there.
Ward led the race for 12 laps, and Showtime had no time to mess around. He's out in front with a chance to win his third Anaheim race. These are the guys who have won two. David Bailey, Jeremy McGrath. He could be the first one to win three, David.
Well, I thought I had something on this guy, but apparently that's going to go down the tubes now, too.
Larry Ward back in second place. Really, he only stands a chance if something goes wrong with Jeremy right now, the way Jeremy's taking off. And Emig in fourth place with Larocco chasing Emig.
Well, as you mentioned before, finally he's starting to put on that charge. He's got all these guys in his sights, and he's running a fast pace, same as Jeremy probably, but it's too late.
Larocco breaking a crankcase here last year, did not finish the race, and it put him out of the points race. Let's go down to Jan Bikus with Mike Sr.
Mike Jr. is really on the move. You think he can pull up a couple positions with a few laps left?
Yeah, he can move up a couple. He might even get into second. He's got to get by roadblock Jeff Emig, but other than that, if he can get by him, he'll get up to Jeremy.
He looks like one of the fastest bikes out here, but again, just a tough start, huh?
Yeah, he got a really bad start, but it's his own fault.
Well, he's going for it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Mike will watch this and he'll know what everyone's thinking when he's out there trying to come from behind for the umpteenth time. You know, he just makes things hard for himself. He's obviously one of the fastest guys. You never get to see it because he's always buried in the pack.
He's in fifth position right now as Emig is picking up some space right now, and Ezra Lusk, who's in third. Emig is running a lot smoother.
Well, Emig's running smooth, but he's not running very fast. And, you know, as Mike Sr. pointed out, he's hard to get around, and Larocco's going to have to really get creative here to get by Emig quick. If he doesn't, he gets kind of stuck in the ride in Emig's pace.
Emig's been known to use all the track.
Well, you know, he gets to control it. If he's ahead of somebody, he gets to go wherever he wants. But a lot of times he rides a real wide bike, and now he's sandwiched between Lusk and Larocco. So if he tries to do anything to get around Lusk, Larocco's going to slip in there. So he's kind of in a catch-22 situation now.
Emig right on the tail of Lusk, who would like to hit the podium for the first time this year.
Well, this is definitely a lot of pressure for Lusk. He's looking good up here in third place, but man, he's got these guys breathing down him. And look at all this.
Jeff DeMent off to the side. Oh, Larocco goes right into the back of him, and a little extracurricular punch, backhanded punch there by Larocco.
Well, just when you think things are bad, they get worse. You know, Larocco really should have seen that coming. I think DeMent isn't too happy with Larocco throwing a punch right there. He's got a helmet on. It couldn't have hurt too bad, but
looked like DeMent was just trying to stay out of the way here as we get another look.
well, you see Larocco going wide. Looks like he might be able to sneak around, but Emig pushes him, sets a pick, boom, right into the back of DeMent. I don't know what DeMent was doing there. He really should have just been riding his own race and not stopping the flow of traffic right there and just not block anybody intentionally. It was really none of their fault. It's just unfortunate for Larocco right now.
Out in front, Jeremy McGrath, and here's your number 2 rider, Larry Ward. Well, that'd be a nice feather in his cap for second place if he can hold it.
Right, I just noticed some smoke coming out of the back of Larry's bike. I don't know what that is, but possibly that could be a reason he backed off the pace.
Lusk, number 24 in third, trying to hold that podium spot here as the race winds down.
He's looking good. He's got a little breathing room now on Emig, and Emig doesn't have that pressure of Larocco, so maybe he'll relax a little bit, and that'll be good news for Lusk.
That's going to be tough on Lusk with that very, very sore ankle.
Right, he's also got some lappers here to contend with, and it'd be great right now if he could get around him and put him between he and Emig, and that'll give him a little more breathing room as they head towards the finish line.
He's got Lewis and DeHoop in front of him.
should be able to get around these guys. But they're trying to battle with each other. It leaves less room. You see right there, he's getting messed up. He couldn't do the triple. Really, Emick should have done that triple. If that was McGrath, he'd have done it. That's the difference between McGrath and these other riders.
Ezra Lusk trying to hold off Emick with lappers in front of him. Ezra gets good momentum that time into the triple and then takes the corner.
Well, as these laps wind down, it's really important for Lusk that this ride keep his cool and try to put as many lappers between himself and Emick. That'll give him more breathing room and help him relax a little bit. You see how close Emick is right there.
Emick got the whole shot in the opening race, but then he fell in turn 1, ended up 9th after coming from behind all the way. Had a 5th place in Minnesota. And he would love to get that 3rd place spot away from Ezra Lusk.
Well, it's a big boost for each one of these guys. Whichever one can make it on the podium, they're going to carry a little bit more momentum in these next few rounds. It's still early in the season, and they're both trying to get something started.
You saw Ray Tetherton on that hay bale trying to cheer Ezra Lusk on. He'd love to see the Suzuki up there on the podium, just like they were in the 125.
Right, they had 2 out of 3 in the 125 class, and if they can put Lusk on the podium in this 250, that gives confidence to the rest of the team. Once they realize that somebody's up there from the team, it gives everyone else confidence that the bike's capable of it.
The question is, can Lusk last, though, with his condition? Emick himself is running with the cold.
Yeah, both these guys have got problems that it's keeping them from being 100%. And I think Lusk, he's got the upper hand. He controls the racetrack. He just can't leave the door open.
Things are well defined out in front, and look at that. Emick takes Lusk out of the play.
I don't believe that. Emick's been closer and closer, and he's been studying his lines, looking for an opening, and right after I say it, Lusk goes wide. That was just, boy, he really should have covered that, and Emick, it wasn't so much of a dirty move. What was he supposed to do? He left the door wide open. We'll get another look here. Look at Emick. You can already see he's going for the inside. He kind of took it a little wide. He could have made the pass without that much contact, and the result, he goes down too, so I don't think Lusk can get too mad at that.
Number 11, Larry Ward in 2nd place. Emick got up, and he is in 3rd. The checkers in a moment. It's the final lap in Anaheim, California. This young man has the chance to become the first 3-time winner in Anaheim, as he's looking for his 3rd consecutive win of this young season. Jeremy McGrath acknowledging his great fans there in Anaheim.
Well, he's got the blinking lights on the helmet. He's got the fan support. He's got the family support. He's got 3 wins in a row, 3 heat race wins in a row. This guy can't do anything wrong. After the way he won tonight, coming from behind like that, I don't know what it's going to take to stop this guy, or if anyone can.
It will give him at least a 13-point lead in the points race after only 3 races. And his 22nd win of his career.
That's pretty amazing. Only 3 seasons on the 250, starting the 4th season, 22 wins. I only have 12. I rode longer than he did.
And in 2nd place, Larry Ward, his finest finish of the season, to go along with 2 3rd places. He's been on the podium all 3 times. Jeff Emick placing 3rd.
Well, it's a good ride for him tonight. He had to earn it. You saw he ended up on the ground, but he was able to hang on. It's a good finish not only for him, but for Team Yamaha. They finally get a Yamaha on the podium.
Jeremy McGrath sitting atop his Honda. Look at those lights beaming away.
It's got to be a great feeling, 3 times in a row here.